Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to clean up my engine bay a little bit more. If you're just joining me, welcome to my channel. The last video I put up was me cleaning up my exhaust system and rewrapping it with heat wrap. Today I want to take off the turbo manifold and clean it up, see if there's any, leaks in it, any cracks, anything that could cause any boost problems. And let's get straight into it. Let's go. Alright guys, so I got everything off. That was a pain getting the manifold out because there's no gearbox in it, so the motor's leaning down on an angle, so it got caught, the manifold was getting caught on the engine mount. Anyway, managed to finally get it off, and here it is here. So we've got the manifold. As you can see, it's in great shape. It's very, very rusted and, just looks really old. Either way, we're going to clean this up and see if there's any cracks and stuff in it. There's my turbo, Pt.1 the wastegate, and that's the screamer pipe that comes off it. Obviously, I've taken off my catch cans. I got 1 and 2. I got a 2 litre and a 1 litre catch can, so it totals 3 litres. Heaps of breathing for the engine, so that's really good. And I've taken off the intercooler piping on the hot side, so all this is going to get cleaned up and we're going to replace these hoses and stuff like that. So now it's time to get onto the manifold. Let's clean it to see how it all looks. And there she is. She has cleaned up really nicely. There were some hard to reach places in here that I couldn't get to, but it is what it is. For the most part though, it came out really nice. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to clean up the wastegate, and once I finish cleaning it, I want to re-tap the holes here and probably get us a new set of bolts. That way, it freshens up the threads and stuff like that. So I want to do that. The other thing I'm going to do is I want to convert the turbo to studs instead of bolts. So it makes it easier to just slip a nut on and that's it, the way we go. So we're going to do that as well after we clean up the turbo. But let's jump into doing this wastegate. The other thing is, I'm torn here, guys. I'm torn because I'm looking at my engine bay. And now that half of the engine bay is ripped apart, I really want to paint my engine bay, but I don't want to pull the motor out to do it. I'm stuck. Look, I know it's not the most professional way to paint your engine bay while your motor's still in it, but I don't care, man. It's a drift car and I will get it looking as best as I can. And now that I've got all the hot side off, it'll just be easier for me to just hit it with a spray can. Seriously, just clean it up and hit it with a spray can. And I'm already almost in the engine bay from painting underneath. So I'm torn, guys. I don't know what to do. Like, I really want to do it. I don't know if I have the time to do it because I'm on a bit of a time schedule at the moment, but I'll think about it. I'm just looking at it all now and I'm like, I can really do this, but I don't know, I'm torn. Anyway, so look, leave it with me. Let's finish cleaning up the turbo side and then we can go from there. All right, so let's do the wastegate. Let's go. All right, guys, that's all cleaned up now. The holes have been re-tapped, so, you know, I re-threaded them to clean them up. Done both on the wastegate and the turbo. Now on to the next thing. What I want to do is I want to turn this into a stud that's in there permanently. Then I can just put the dump pipe on, and then I can just put a nut on. Now, I've done all the measurements. I measured the dump pipe flange plus the gasket. It's about 11 mil. I measured the hole inside, and it's about 10 mil, I think it is. So what's that, 22 mil? And then it's 8 mil for the nut. So in total, I need 30 mil worth of stud for these holes. Now, I got a box of high tensile 40 mil long bolts, and I'm gonna cut them. So I've marked with a piece of tape where I need to cut. I've got 3 of them. I'm gonna cut them all, and then we're gonna Loctite them in. So let's go. And there we have it. Studs are done. They're in. They're Loctited, so they should set and, you know, really not move. Hopefully. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to work on the actual manifold where the turbo bolts to the manifold. I want to do the same thing, like put studs. This bolt here goes down and there's a nut underneath, and that's fine. I may turn it around the other way and go up. The problem that I'm going to have is underneath here, when I go put the bolt in, it gets stuck. And I really want it to go up like a stud, like that. I don't want it to go down. So what I'm gonna do is cut the bolt head off, feed it in, put a nut on it, and then weld it together, and then tack weld it to underneath here. It's gonna be a bit of a mission, but we'll get it done. I want to be able to get the turbo on and off as easy as possible while it's in the car. It'll be better than trying to, you know, feed the bolt and a nut and try to maneuver to try and hold the nut while you're tightening the bolt, or hold the bolt while you're tightening the nut. Like, it's a pain in the ass. So we're going to attack this. We're going to do it this way. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll cut it off. And if I can't cut it off, then I have to get a new manifold. So hopefully I don't mess it up. But that's the plan. That's what we're going to do. So let's do it. Alright guys, as you saw, we attached the turbo to the manifold, and reason for that is I wanted to bolt it in place before I welded the nuts on, solely because I want to make sure that they're in the right position and they are ready to go now. So let's hit it with a weld and then undo it. And there we have it, guys, all completed. All studs are in, all the turbo manifold, turbo and wastegate is all cleaned up. I decided to go with 2 studs and a bolt for here. It was just easy to get the bolt in through here, but I did 2 studs here for the turbo. Turbo, 3 studs at the back, make it easier to slip the dump pipe on. It's all clean, it's all ready to go back on the car. Guys, please, if you enjoyed this content, please smash that like button for me, because it'll help with my channel, and subscribe if you're enjoying it, because there's plenty more where this came from, and there's plenty more already where you know, if you go back and have a look. So guys, please, it means the world to me. It'll help me out, and I really appreciate you guys. So before I get stuck into the next thing, which is the engine bay, I'm contemplating whether I'm going to paint it or not. I don't know if I'm going to paint it. Ideally, the best thing to do is paint it while it's out of the car, while the motor's out of the car. But I mean, I could get it done while the motor's in the car. It'll be quite a tedious job. Probably not the most professional job, but it's a drift car, you know? So what I might do is I might clean it first. I'll just hit it with some wax and grease remover and some brake cleaner, clean it up, and see how it presents itself. If I can't hack it and I want to paint it, I'll paint it. So we'll see what happens. Let me clean it up first and we'll go from there. All right, let's go.